Well, welcome back to me weekly yarns. What are we getting done this week then? It all started so well. Sunday we put half the PTO back together. Monday I was going to finish it off. Changed my mind with the bearing, went and bought a new one. Did the swap over off camera. Then started to do the rebuild. Got to the stage we had the output shaft in, input shaft in, and I think we had the selector in. I had the selector in and I had the intermediate gear in. I had to put the back cover on, and I was going to leave that till Tuesday morning, video it on Tuesday morning, do the editing, do the upload, let you see it. Monday night, 5:30, 5:45, all hell broke loose. The missus came down, my wife Debbie came down with food poisoning. Atrocious, oh absolutely atrocious. 10:30 Monday night, came down with food poisoning just the same. The next 24 hours was absolutely horrendous. Never ever been like that, the pair of us. We've only got one bathroom in the bungalow. You can imagine we're fighting for to get into that bathroom. But so that took till the Wednesday morning before everything calmed itself down. However, we were still in a grotty mess, absolutely grotty mess, where you just couldn't pull ourselves together, get organised at all. Anyway, gets up Wednesday morning, does a bit of cleaning up, goes outside, sets everything up, gets the back plate put on, gets it all buttoned up, gets the primer onto the nuts, gets it all sorted out, right? That was that job done. And we're thinking to ourselves, I had Thursday planned. I was going to go to the farm, I was going to take the rock shaft off and the lift cylinder out of the back of the tractor, and at the time everything seemed to be going well. However, things took a bad turn again, not with us, not with our health, but just everything, the plans changed. So we decided on Thursday we wouldn't be going to the farm, we would simply crack on, get all our little jobs done around the house, see what we could get done, go shopping, because we look after my elderly mother. We're going to go shopping, take her shopping with her. So we did that. So, and Thursday, remember this, isn't that looking a bit tidier? So I decided, cut the handle off, grind all the weld off here. Well, I cut a lot of the weld off with a cutting disc because it was that heavy. So tidied the shaft up, drilled a hole through, can we see there? Drilled a hole through the bush there, so this would fit into it. The plan is, it's not welded yet, but the plan is run a nice little bead round here of weld in there, in the hole in there. I'm going, before welding, I'm going to take about 1/8 of an inch off the back of that shaft, so it creates a little hole in there, and we'll fill the little hole in, we'll weld, and then we'll clean that out with a Dremel and a grinding stone, get it to fit again. But doesn't that look tidier than it really was? Right, one little job done. Question for David. David, does your PTO aluminium cover look like this? Mine's got two great big dimples in here, and I thought somebody had attacked this with a hammer, but when I look at it, they're too smooth to be hammered. It looks like they've been pressed, and I'm just wondering, is that what yours looks like? That needs, as you can see, I've just pulled it at the back of the car. The back of the car is full of gear, as you'll see, but that, I've just pulled it out of the box in the farm. It wants a good wash, good clean. What I'll do with that is we'll pop that back on top of the PTO, bit of Hylamar blue on it. I've got the sensing unit in the garage here. We'll pop the sensing unit on top of it, bolt everything down till the Hylamar goes off, so this sticks to the PTO. Then we'll take the sensing unit off, put that back into storage again. This will seal up the PTO, the gear side of it anyway, and keep everything clean in there. But let us know, David, if yours is beveled. Looks like an aluminium bra, but you know what I mean. What else have we got then? So I got my boot full of gear. I'll quickly show you the boot full of gear. Right, so we've got here a rock shaft, hydraulic pump plate that goes on the hydraulic pump, box full of gear including the quadrant and the casting, dump valve, and the cylinder, the lift cylinder and the lift cylinder cover, and the valve gear there, the control valve gear, and that screw on the top, that looks like it's had a right hiding. Well, never mind, it'll get sorted out. So that's bits and pieces. The gear was going to go in the garage and it was all going to get looked at in due time. However, yesterday was it yesterday? What was yesterday? Yes, yesterday. Went out to put some gear together to go to the farm to do the video you'll be seeing on Wednesday, to take the rock shaft off. I'm in my garage fiddling around, getting my spanners together, getting all my gear together to go and do this job, and I heard the blackbird. Remember my little blackbird? I heard the blackbird just gently, like, tweeting that they do, just that little tweet, 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 tweet. And I thought she was outside on the roof of the garage. Came outside, had a look on the roof, because she sometimes comes and just sits on the edge of the garage and sings little songs to where I was sitting in the garden. So I'm outside the garage looking up, see if I could see. I couldn't see anything. I went back into the garage, heard it again, this tweet, tweet. Looked up into the corner, straight above my head, about this far above my head up here, and here she's sitting in the garage, up in the rafters. I've got one of them like ladder type hooks with bags and things hanging on it. She's sitting on top of that. So me and her has a good conversation about, she kind of stopped in the garage because she's obviously looking for somewhere to nest. We kind of stopped in the garage because we kind of secure the garage. There's no way she can get in and out of the garage. I even looked at my door, has got a half round piece of glass in the top, and I think to myself, can I take the glass out so that I can lock the garage, get the glass out, she can scoot in and out, because she nested here not last year, the year before, just outside this window in a little tree that we have, an acer tree that we have, and she hatched 3 of the 4 eggs that she had, and for some reason she left the nest. We were watching it because we've got security cameras here, and we were watching it on the security cameras coming and going, and that's how we noticed that we had a nest, because there was a lot of activity around the tree. So she's coming and going, and then all of a sudden she stopped coming and going, and the male blackbird stopped coming and going, and I just thought, oh, I wonder if she's raised them little ones and fledged, and they've jumped out onto the floor and scuttled off into the bushes that we have, which they normally do. So I had a look in here, they're dead in the nest. 3 little chicks and an unhatched egg. Don't know what happened, God knows what happened to her, because we never ever, once we knew she was there, we never disturbed her. We would look out the dining room window before we opened the back door to make sure she wasn't sitting in the tree or on the hanging baskets, that she would get a fright and fly away. We were really careful with her. But for whatever reason she left, so I buried the little ones down in the bottom of the garden there. So this morning, I'll show you a picture of it, we built her a nice big house box, a nest box. But blackbirds are queer. Blackbirds won't go through a hole like a blue tit will go through a hole into the, these ornamental houses. They'll go into there and Blackbirds will not. Blackbirds like to be in sheltered, secluded areas, but open, because they like to get in and out straight away. And you'll see we just designed this box ourselves. We popped into a local DIY shop yesterday on the way across the farm, picked up a plank of wood. I think it was 10 quid 50. Picked up a plank of wood, rattled this box off this morning while we were up at the farm, had a look around. My shed that I have up there lost its felt with that windstorm that we had way back in the beginning of the year. Well, it caused all the damage. So there's a bit of felt lying around on the floor. I used that because I had a bit of black polythene off the silage bales that I put on the roof of the shed to keep the water out. So we brought the felt home, and we rattled our house up this morning. We screwed it to the fence there. Then my son rang. He's busy putting a summer house together in his garden. Would we go across and give him a hand? So we went across there, give him a hand. We're just getting home. Now then, so that leads me to, not a lot got done that year. Bird box got done, summer house got done. I'll show you some pictures. That was it. So tomorrow we've got to sit. We're stopping in the house tomorrow, and we are going to, Deb's going to do our garden, finish off our greenhouse. I'm going to get out, I'm going to do the cars. I want both the cars. They both need washing. They both need hoovering. Mine has never been as minging in its life. So that's what plans for tomorrow, which is the Sunday. Right, so the audio. We've been looking at obviously improving the audio by buying better microphones. I've also spent, whilst I was ill, a lot of time on YouTube looking at videos about how to improve your audio. And funny enough, this might sound counterintuitive. One of the easiest ways to improve your audio is to turn your volume down on these little things. And when you listen to people tell you that, it actually makes a lot of sense, and you start thinking, yeah, it does make a lot of sense. When I was using these, the audio wasn't the best, so I turned the volume up. Still wasn't the best, so I turned it up again. This was at 19, which is nearly just about as loud as it's gonna get. It never dawned on us till I watched some of the experts on YouTube, and they said when you're turning the volume up, what you're doing with this is you're not only getting your voice that's coming in from here because the volume is so loud, you're collecting the noise from all around you. If you turn the volume down, and they did say turn it to as low as it will go, and you turn it down, I've now gone down to 8 on here, because then what it does is it only picks up the noise that's around you here. Doesn't pick up any background noise, doesn't pick up any birds singing in the trees, doesn't any sheep or lambs bleating on, and it does work. As well as the editing suite that I'm running, Shotcut. There are a few audio filters in there, and I watched a guy who took us through the audio filters, how to use them, what to do. It is better. It is better. Still, there's little tweaks that I have to do, but it is getting better. You know, let me know if you can see the improvements in it. And as I say, the internal mic, as opposed to this that we're using for external, yeah, but the internal mic's better. And what they're also saying as well is hard surfaces reflect sound, don't they? So in here I've got these doors and mirrors behind us, I've got walls there, even though I've got the kiddies' pictures up, it's all reflecting the noise. But I'm a bit reluctant to start and hang blankets up, which is what they suggested. But anyway, so on the audio front, things should be improving. I'll keep watching the videos, keep hopefully getting better, let me know. So Friday we got across the farm, set ourselves up, me and my Emily. This is typical of modern kids, isn't it? Emily, who is the third young, I've got 4 grandchildren, 3 boys, 1 girl. The 2 youngest, I've got 2 boys to my son, boy and a girl to my daughter. So the boy and girl who live on the farm, the laddie Liam, he's the oldest laddie of the group. He loves just to sit in the house and play on his computers. If he can get away with that, he's over the moon. So little Emily, kind of keep her down, like she's out on the farm helping mum, all sorts, out there during the lambing. I think since she was about 6-7 year old, she was pulling lambs out of ewes. So nothing's, there's what blackbird, she's there. She looks like she's going to rip Deb's hanging back. She is. She'll get wrong if Deb catches her. She might go down and see her new little house in the corner there. I think she's trying to get back into the garage again, the little tinker. Never mind. Right. Our Emily. So, can it knock her back? You cannot. She's there amongst all the muck, the dirt, all the bits that you think would frighten little girls. Doesn't bother Emily at all. The boys, little Charlie's not so bad. Little Charlie, if he could get outside with you, he'd work with you all day long. He loves getting out there. He loves doing things. Jack, his older brother, is another one. Loves to sit on the computers. If he can sit on a computer all day and do nothing, he's brilliant. So Friday, as I say, went to the farm. We set ourselves up, get all the gear out, get all the job prepared, M's there, and then we start to get a load of distractions. Well, the video's not the best video in the world. I've released it for you anyway to have a look at it, because I'm not going to put it all back together to pull it all to bits again. But as I say, we had a lot of distractions with it being Good Friday. So a couple of things on that. And you'll see it, I'll put a couple of clips on up here somewhere, and I'll show you the little silver disc. When I pulls the rock shaft out and the valve gear, right, put it down, and I never noticed this, put it down on the floor, doing other things. I then moved the rock shaft and the valve gear to my silver tarpaulin that I've spread out on the floor just behind me car. Puts that out, and you will see this little disc that I'm on about. Puts it down on top of the control valve gear is a little silver disc, and it is from inside the valve body. It looks like it's a seat from the bottom of one of the spool chambers. But I've never took that to bits. That is as I bought the tractor. The only thing I did was I took off the dump valve. You see me do this in the video. I took the dump valve off, I pulled the spring out from the core, but I consciously, because you know there's little bits in there, as you pull it out, I checked it and there was nothing came out with that spring. Nothing was above the valve body, so nothing could get caught and flick and jump and all the rest of it. So this little disc, because I've looked back on the video, when I pull the rock shaft off the back of the axle and put it on the floor, the next shot is a pan from right to left to talk about the lift cylinder. If you look on top of the valve body, the disc is there then. You can see just the little silver dot sitting there then, right? I'll not know till I get it to bits, and the plan is that the whole thing will come off, that every single piece will come out of that valve body, and it'll come out one hole at a time. It'll get photographed, bagged up so that it goes back into the same hole, or the replacement parts will be going back into the same hole. But the only thing I can think of is that disc it's been sitting on top of that valve body for quite some while, just stuck in the oil, probably from when someone else has been in there previously. Because if you look at the clip that I'm put up for you now, the screw, the big screw that holds one of the valve, the spools in, again, looks like somebody's been at it with a hammer and chisel. So that's what it looks like to me. It looks like somebody's been in there with a hammer and chisel, and we'll not know until we get it all to bits, find out what's in there, find out what's not in there. Because I do remember the young lad I bought it off, when I bought it, he said he was having problems with the hydraulics, that they couldn't stop up. Well, I'm surprised they were operating at all, because as you've seen in the video, I took the front cover off ages ago to paint it. But inside there, you see the bare thread where there should have been a spacer and a nut for the quadrant to push and pull the valve system, but it's back in the axle. When I took the front cover off, they were lying in the floor of that casting. When I took the back cover off, in the back of there, where the rock shaft comes in, there's a cam which operates the valve unit in the back of there. Both the heads off the studs of that cam were lying in the floor. They've been sheared off. So, and I don't know how you do that. I really don't understand. I don't see why you'd want to over tighten it. Where they are, kind of see them rusting in. But we'll not know until we get it dismantled. We'll get it all tucked to bits. We'll find out what's going on, and we'll see what the repairs are. See what we're going to do to get it put right. But anyway, the whole video is coming out Wednesday morning. Yeah. So you can have a look at it, see what's what. Any comments, any suggestions, right? Please drop a line in the comments. All comments are welcome. We do like to have some feedback on this. As I say, I'm no expert on Davy Browns, I'm no expert on tractors. I'm learning as I go along. I'm hoping to God that some of you guys and girls out there are going to come back and just say, no, that's okay, that should have been there, that shouldn't have been there, that's bent, that's damaged, this needs doing. Yeah, I will take constructive criticism and good advice from any area. And I don't believe for 1 second, well, I know I haven't got all the answers. I've got some, but I haven't got all. And there's a lot better people out there who've got the answers. Just drop us a comment, let us know. I don't mind, honestly. I think that's just gonna be just flying about there again. I tell you what, she's not frightened. She's not. We can be sitting on our chairs in the back garden, and she will literally come and walk over your feet. Got to get the worms out the flower beds and that. She is just not frightened at all. Maybe we never touch her, we never hurt her, we never do anything to frighten her. Possibly that's why she likes coming back here. That's why she's trying to get in the garage. I felt a bit rotten the other day, telling her she couldn't nest in the garage. Because after I had this in-depth conversation, she flew away. About 4 minutes later, she come back with a mouthful of stuff to start and make a nest. And I had to say to her, no, you cannot, darling, you can't be living in here. This isn't, we cannot secure this. And that's when we decided we would have to go and make her a bird box. And hopefully she will get into the corner, down in the bottom corner of the garden, in beside the bamboo. So hopefully she'll use that. Never mind. Anyways, thank you very much for popping in. Don't forget, if you like the videos, give us a thumbs up and subscribe, please. The channel is growing beautifully. I think we're up to 87 subscribers at the minute, and I believe we've got our first young lady subscriber. So welcome to the channel. Thank you everyone for your support. It is much appreciated. It would be nice to get to 100 by the end of the month, wouldn't it? Keep it going, keep it going. We've got one video, the one that came out last week, that in fact it was the PTO one. It's over 2,500 views already. That's the best we've ever had. So hopefully we're doing something right that everybody likes. Thank you very much. As I say, give us a thumbs up, like and subscribe, drop your comments down below please, and we will see you in the middle of the week with the rock shaft coming off, and hopefully we'll see you next weekend with some disassembly on some of the gear that we've got in the boot. Alright, thank you very much for listening. See you later now. Bye.